Hi lovelies, Michelle here from UglyBugPlans, back today with our June creative team challenge for UK Scrap Addicts, and we had mood boards this month, and I had the rainbow moon board, which I was really excited about. I love bright bold colours, so it's very me, and I knew that I could do something sort of a little bit wacky that I wouldn't normally do, so I chose to bubble wrap stamp. I really love this technique. I think it gives a really fun effect. I chose to accessorize with or embellish with white embellishments purely because it can be a bit too overpowering. The photo that I'm using is of myself and my husband at Hogwarts, or the Harry Potter studios, and it's got quite a lot of colours in it, and I wanted to be drawn to that rather than to the embellishments. So there's the photo. As you can see, there's blues, there's reds, there's purple on the floor. It was a very colour heavy photo, so I chose to back that photo on some plain white cardstock, and I just measured the photo because although they're 4x6, different places do size their photos differently, and they do come up a bit different from some places. So I just measured the photo and then added 1/2 inch onto the width and the length, and that gives you an even border all around. Now I did turn the background so that the red was on the top, purely because at the bottom the colours are slightly lighter, so I wanted it to go from like light to dark. And I'm just making some flowers here. I absolutely love this punch, and I've been using it in so many projects. So yeah, it's made an appearance here today as well. And I'm just using a bone folder there to kind of bend the leaves over so that when you stick them on the page, they have like a bit of a curl. They're not a flat embellishment. It stands up from the page a little bit. I'm just daubing a little bit of liquid glue in the centre to keep them together. The only thing I find when you've got a liquid glue, that flower was fine, but if you see on this one, the petals all started moving, so you just need to leave it to set a little bit. I'm just there moving the page away because I'm a mucky pup with inks and it will end up going everywhere. And this is, with the punch, there's a stamp set, and this is the centre of the flower, and I'm just using red, green and blue as my dominant colours in this, and just making sure I clean the stamp in between using it, otherwise it will mess your ink pads up. I'm clearing up after myself, aren't I? A good girl. Normally I do it all at the end. So I wanted to stamp my title. I was going to stamp straight on in black ink, but I actually, when I line all the stamps up, I stamped it on a bit of white cardstock just to make sure it was all level and evenly spaced, and I really liked that. So I kind of winged that a little bit, and it came out really well. I think the title kind of stands out, so that's me. And it took me a crazy long amount of time to line all these tiny little stamps up because they just kept sticking to my nails. So every time like I just got it lined up, it would stick to my nail and move, which was annoying to say the least. So I ended up using these pair of scissors just to push everything in, but even still a few kind of, see, I was getting so frustrated. Normally what I would do is pop it on a little block, but because I was going to stamp straight onto the background, I wanted to make sure that it was all lined up and I didn't want to like miss stamp, so that was my thinking before lining all the stamps up and then having a practice stamp. And obviously that says Hogwarts because we were at Hogwarts. Well, we weren't, we were at the Harry Potter studios, but to me it was Hogwarts. So I'm just using a round, that's actually a craft knife, but it's got a round lid that I press in the centre of the flowers and kind of wiggle about a bit, and it pushes the centre back and brings the petals of the flowers forward, which again creates like a more realistic flower. And obviously I'm sticking the photo down. I find it really hard to picture anything until I've actually stuck that photo down. Once that's down and I know I'm committed, then yeah, it's easier to find where I'm going to place everything else. I have some enamel dots or enamel shapes that go with the colours that I'm going to be bringing out in a minute. You can see I've written Hogwarts on the back to make sure I spell it right. Yeah, there's my enamel shapes, and because I've got 3 flowers and there's 3 main things in the photos, there's myself, my husband and the train, I kind of like to carry the rule of 3 over. So I'm using 3 flowers and 3 enamel dots for each colour. Just sticking them like randomly. They don't show up very well on the camera, and to be honest, they don't show up, it's not like in your face when you're looking at the layout in front of you, but it is a nice touch. It just gives it a little bit more dimension. So yeah, I was really pleased with the way that turned out. And because this was for our anniversary, we actually went there on our anniversary, I wanted to use the little enamel heart, and I was going to do one of each colour in the order that I've stamped the background. But because of the rule of 3, I stuck them all down and then thought, oh my god, what are you doing? It looked a bit too crazy. So I end up actually pulling some off, and I just used the red, the green and the blue, the same as the scents of the flowers, and I think it ended up really, I mean, that looks nice with all the different colours, but I just preferred it with just the red, the green and the blue, and I think it came out really well. It was a nightmare peeling all those teeny tiny ones off and not ripping the backing paper. I was going so slowly. It was unbelievable. It was like literally the most delicate thing I've done forever. Right guys, well that's me done. It's just to stick those down and date the layout. So thank you so much for having me here, and thank you so much for watching. Leave a little comment if you've liked this layout, and I will speak to you next month.